Okay. I don't know what's going on with the lighting, but there's a lighting issue in here tonight. So, I wanted to talk about, and I feel like I look really fuzzy and I don't have an explanation other than we're in a thunderstorm. And I was going to call these lessons, but I don't want to call them lessons because I'm not a freaking teacher. So I'm just going to talk about what's in a name, okay? So I figure it was the simplest one to start with because I'm lighting an incense. Because it doesn't require any tools. It's literally just you. And I also wanted to talk about, like, do you even need a name? And what do I mean when I say name? So, as you may have gathered, a lot of people in our community have a pseudonym or witchy name or coven name. If you hear a loud boom, it's thunder. It might not even pick up. So, but do you really need one? 'Tis the question. And no, you don't. Some people, especially that interact on like group forums or social media in general, they're not really out, or it's not safe for them to be out, or they haven't decided, fully committed to, whatever. So they come up with a name that the community would recognize, but not anybody in their family or, outward sphere of actual people in their life. So, and then there's the other side, which so for instance, I have a witchy name, and Raven actually helped me pick mine out. Just like someone helped Tequila pick hers out, and someone helped Raven pick Raven's out, I think, and then so on and so forth. Like, they come from somewhere. So I always have a thing about, I don't like being like everybody else, right? And I think we all go through that. Everybody loves the full moon or the new moon or, whatever. I have always been fond of crescent moons. I never gonna play. And I like all the old school depictions of like the little boy sitting on a crescent moon with a dog, I think. And then the witch, obviously. And there are a couple others in there, but I like the crescent moon. Not really for astrology purposes, but just, I like it. It means something to me. So that's what I, ended up with. But, and it wasn't that I needed a name, but I didn't want, there's only so much personal information you want people to have, right? So for me, it wasn't the fact that I was in the broom closet or worried about certain individuals or elements in my life. That didn't bother me as much as my privacy, which, hell, half y'all know my name already anyway. But we do like to maintain a level of privacy. So if someone was to go and search my name, like at work, say a higher up or whatever, somebody just wanted to be a jerk to me at work, then they would search my name and wouldn't come up with anything. So there's a very small level of security involved in that. And I could not tell you why there is such a smoky haze in here. It's been like that. I just lit something, so I know it's not actual smoke. It's just, I think my camera's acting up. It's not a camera, it's my phone. But, so to address that. So then there is, and I'm not in a coven per se. There's a whole other side of me that I've tried to introduce that is just not happening. So I tried to get involved in that, and it just didn't work out for me. But I do know several people that are in covens, and they pick their spiritual names based on other stuff. And your name doesn't have to be anything spiritual. It could be freaking river water if that's what you want it to be. It doesn't matter. But you also don't need one. You are free to practice as you will. If you have just your regular plain Jane name, it doesn't matter. It's not about the name, it's about what's behind it, which is you. So you're, just like we always say, you're all you need. Wow, this autofocus sucks. Samsung. And I never did figure out how to fix that. So we're just going to have to tough through it. I don't like it at all. Okay, there we go. So, anywho, that was the first lesson. Not a lesson. It's not a lesson. It's just a talk. The second one, and I can't remember if there was anything else I was going to say regarding what's in a name. It doesn't take away or add anything, in my opinion. Some people will say otherwise, I'm sure. But for me and some of the people that I am friendly with, like, it's nice to have a name that isn't your everyday mundane name. Oh, that was the other thing. That's another reason why people sometimes separate, is they want something separate from their everyday mundane life, you know, just to signify, okay, the witch is in, you know, this is who I am right now. It's not a personality shift or disorder. It's just you associate certain things with certain things. So if you've just worked a 9-to-5 job and you're, or whatever the case may be, and you come home and you really want to do spell work, ritual, celebration of some sort, it's hard to get into that name that you've been people have been calling all day. You know, I know for me in management, I'm always being pulled and called. So at home, it's not a name I want to use, especially if I'm trying to get in the vibe of stuff, right? I want to be addressed by my other name, my witchy name. Again, not a requirement. Absolutely not. You do not need anything about it. So, and I'm gonna keep reiterating that, you know, it is not about the thing, it's about the person behind the thing being the name. So anyway, I'm at 8 minutes. I'm gonna stop rambling, and the next, I'll put a community post about which topic I'm gonna touch on next, but it will probably be a basic book topic, because a lot of y'all, okay, we're gonna go into probably 9 minutes, whatever. I'm getting a lot of messages about, you know, what was your first book when you kind of tiptoed out of the broom closet a little bit and wanted to actually do some research and figure out stuff. And y'all have sent me titles I've never heard of, so I want to investigate that. And some of the titles I have heard of, and some that I have personally. So I want to do some research on that. But that books will probably be the next topic. Again, you don't need anything. You don't need... Actually, that's not true. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm not going to say you don't need a book. At some point, unless you're hereditary 100%, which I'm not, right? Like, my grandmother was a manifest. I call my grandmother a witch because she could manifest the shit out of stuff. I mean, obscene, just crazy stuff. For her time period, let me say that. Not for anything right now. But when she was alive, back in her day, when she was raising children and running a house, like, she did some stuff that I find impossible. She was a manifester, for sure. And, you know, but she wasn't conventional in the ways of, like, she didn't do herbs. She did have a garden. She loved her flowers. She loved vegetables and stuff like that. But she wasn't totally, like, I don't know. She was more mystical and manifestation than the other side. I can't word tonight. And my mother is, my mother has been back and forth. But like to say that I'm hereditary, I'm not going to make that claim. But it's there somewhere. So, which I guess is another topic we need to talk about. Because there are all different kinds of opinions on certain things. And my opinion has changed over the course of the last 5.5 years. She scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck is moving? It's my damn cat. But, I feel like you do need some sort of research. You do need to, have some knowledge outside yourself in certain areas if that's what you're called to do. Now, if what you do is what you do and you never need to pick up a book, then, kudos to you. I wanted a book. I wanted to learn more about this thing that I was thinking and feeling and wanted to explore once I got past that fear, the initial fear. Somebody's coming home. Never fails. Babe, I'm doing a video. Oh, you brought me shit. You brought me a sandwich. Thank you. I only ate a little bit. I forgot you were doing that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your thingy is charging on the PlayStation.
Okay, does it take the same charger?
Yes.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought. I can't remember where I was now. So, anyway. We were talking about books. Oh, okay. So, and if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. We don't always have to have a book for every single thing because some people are just naturally not better. I'm not going to say better. Some people are more gifted than others in certain areas. I didn't know any of the areas, so I needed a book. And I feel like a lot of us, I'm not going to say all of us, but a lot of us start nowhere. Like we have like a little twinkling of an idea or we see something that sparks our interest and we get curious, but there's that little dip of fear, of, ooh, it's a bad thing, or taboo. What do you want? On the bar.
Huh?
They're on the bar. So, I think, yes, at some point you do need some sort of reference, but it's not totally necessary. And you don't have to have every book on the shelf at Barnes & Nobles. Although they're awesome. But I end up hoarding stuff, so I have to be very selective. But in this area, I would like to know more because there are so many different titles that I haven't read, I didn't even know about. I knew about the Scott Cunningham ones because I think he's produced by Llewellyn. And a lot of the Llewellyn books I have heard of, but there were some out there that are maybe Llewellyn and I just don't know, but the titles and the authors didn't ring any bells at all. So I'm going to do some research about that. So I'm going to write that down. So the next topic is going to be books. And again, you don't need anything. You don't have to bring anything with you. Just, if you have a book on hand, let's go through it. Let's look at it. Does yours start the same way mine does? And it's not interactive. I mean, I guess I could do a live. I guess leave me a comment if you'd rather do that live-wise. I don't know. I haven't gotten up the courage to do a live by myself yet, so we'll see. But books. I wrote it down. And along with a topic for Spirit Talk me and Tequila were talking about the other night. We will be having Cauldron of Conspiracies tomorrow night. Same time, different place. It'll be on Tequila's channel. And Rowan, I believe we're setting Friday night up for Rowan. I'm not sure on the time yet. So stay tuned. I will post in the community tab once I have the information. And we are again at 14 minutes because I can't shut the hell up. Love to you all. Stay safe. Blessed be. Have a good night.